Have you ever noticed that life often flows in themes? For example, my family recently decided to get a dog. So now much of our conversation is delightfully about all things dog. Dog books, dog collars, dog food, dog crates, dog prices, dog budgets, dog science, dog beds, and the very important, who's going to clean up the dog? Well, you know what I mean. And it seems like everywhere we go, we notice and discuss dogs a lot more than we used to. Our brains are designed to recognize and thrive within patterns. And don't you find that patterns and themes help us make sense of the world? This realization of our design is the premise behind the educational approach I'm going to introduce you to today. Unit Studies. Hi, I'm Heather Fromack, HSLDA's Director of Outreach and Consulting Services and homeschooling mom of 5 kids. Our family has loved using unit studies for a variety of subjects in our homeschool, so I'm really delighted to tell you about this approach. You can see if it's a good fit for your family. So what are unit studies? Unit studies are simply a thematic approach to teaching and learning. Unit studies combine a collection of learning activities, books, and curriculum connected by a unifying theme or themes. Essentially, unit studies are simply using a topic of interest to create a cohesive theme to explore a variety of subjects. These can be for a single subject, like in our family, we might decide to study all about canine anatomy and behavior for our science. Or we could extend the dog theme into more subjects, like literature and history, as we read about books that feature dogs and study the history of the dog breed we're interested in. In our case, it's a Great Dane, so you can understand how important the questions around dog food and who is going to clean up after this gigantic dog really are in our family. Or they can also be complete curriculum packages, such as from Konos. Konos has created many complete unit study packages that unify all the subjects around the study of a specific character quality, like obedience, attentiveness, or honesty. So what is the philosophy behind unit studies? As I mentioned before, we're designed to thrive within patterns, and I'm sure you've seen this in your child's life as well as your own. We humans also seem to learn better when we are intrinsically motivated by our interest in a subject. So unit studies seek to capitalize on our natural bents toward patterns, themes, and interest-driven motivation to learn. As unit study author Amanda Bennett says, a unit study is defined as an in-depth examination of a topic. It's a complete immersion into the topic so that the student will see things as a whole instead of as disjointed bits and pieces learned throughout his education. This philosophy also capitalizes on a delight-directed approach, as you can create and find unit studies that connect to your child's interest. They may love it so much, they might not even call it school. Many homeschooling families enjoy this approach because they provide a hands-on approach to learning that incorporates more than one subject. So what are some primary features of unit studies? Well, by design, a unit study integrates disciplines together into a single thematic unit, rather than dividing them into separate subjects. Things like literature, history, science, mathematics, art, music, history, and more can all be studied through their connection to a core organizing theme. This approach can also make learning experience out of literally anything. Unit studies can be used as a supplement for one subject or to drive the whole of your child's education for that season, semester, or even for a whole year. They can also be adapted for many different ages and learning styles, which is great if you have more than one child that you're homeschooling. For example, Konos is a full curriculum using character qualities such as obedience and attentiveness. 5 in a Row is a curriculum that uses children's literature classics as the organizing principle of their unit study and can be a standalone for your literature choices for a year. Unit studies can also be integrated into other educational approaches, such as eclectic learning, classical, and Charlotte Mason, just to name a few. Learning Adventures uses a chronological history approach, which can fit really nicely if you're following a classical or Charlotte Mason model. Be aware that this approach can be addicting if you love learning, but creating your own is time-consuming. If you have the time and motivation to create a unit study, then go for it. You're going to have a blast creating units based on the interests and passions of your family and children. But If you don't have the time or inclination, there are still many pre-made units ranging from free all the way to online programs that can be a bit pricey. So, this educational approach might be right for you if the idea of connecting subjects together thematically makes your heart sing, or if your child is motivated by some really specific subjects, or if you and your child tend to think in themes. If you have multiple ages of children and would like to be able to enable them to enjoy shared learning, or if you have time to plan for and around the unit study activities, if you love the library and have time to spend there, and if you feel comfortable with a curriculum that really doesn't follow a grade-specific or traditional curriculum. So are you interested? Here are a few resources that you might find helpful. Here are a couple of websites. Faith and Good Works, or the Techie Homeschool Mom, which has online unit studies. You can also check out Konos and 5 in a Row, which I referred to. And as you're on this journey, please remember that HSLDA is here to make homeschooling possible. Check out our HSLDA or Mom Possible websites for more information, and we also invite you to check out our HSLDA or Educational Consultants Facebook pages, where you can be inspired, informed, and share your questions. But better yet, we'd love to talk to you and support you in person. That's one of your HSLDA member benefits. Members can call in for personal attention from our consultants or attorneys, and we'll be so happy to help you make homeschooling possible in your family. And remember, you're not alone, and you really have got this.